I guess you could also say that the Dolphins are going to win by Tua.
Welcome to Fade or Fly with Mike and the Feather, your weekly football podcast recorded right here in the heart of Sin City. Join Mike and the Feather as they dive into the world of sports bet predictions, game analysis, and serve up a healthy dose of Vegas-style humor. Whether you're looking to ride the winning streak or soar to new heights in your football knowledge, this is the podcast for you. Let's embark on this gridiron adventure together from the entertainment capital of the world.
All right, let's do it indeed, guys. Welcome back to Fade or Fly. This is week 5 in the NFL, and we actually have what I think is going to be a treat for you, which we'll share in a moment. First of all, I want to thank you again for choosing to spend your time with us and remind you, it's a big way. This show is sponsored by us and supported by us, and the way you could show your thanks and your support is by giving us a big thumbs up down below. And like I always remind people who give thumbs up to our podcast tend to run 20% better in their sports betting. It's documented somewhere. All right, as you can see behind me, the set's starting to get a little bit spooky for Halloween, but Halloween also means a time for treats, and I think we have a treat for you this week. This man called me last night and said, I got a crazy idea for tomorrow's show. I want to do something different, and I always love last-minute changes, don't I? And he said, I want to pick all the Sunday games. Let's not do just 3 or 4 picks. I want to pick them all. He gave me a great example. He said, that's kind of like you going to the sports book and they only let you pick 4 or 5 games to bet on. So this week and maybe going forward, we'll see how this works out. All 12 Sunday games, the Feather is going to be giving you his picks on and some of his analysis. So let's get into it. These are the Feather's Take It to the Bank picks for week 5 Sunday in the NFL. All right, the first one we're looking at, Sunday morning in Jolly Good, England. It is a 9:30 a.m. East Coast start time, which means 6:30 for those of us at the Westgate Sportsbook. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Buffalo Bills. Bills are presently favored by 5.5 points. And Feather, this is interesting because Jacksonville's playing 2 straight back-to-back games in London. One time technically as the home team, now technically as the visitor, but they've been in England for the better part of 2 weeks now. Trevor Lawrence had his birthday there. They've basically become like accustomed to being in the location. Do you think that kind of favors them feeling more like the home team now, or do you think that might be they're getting a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of homesickness, and they just want to get it over and done with?
I mean, they've had 11. This is their 11th game now playing in London so far, lifetime. Back-to-back weeks is pretty wild. I mean, it's never been done before where a team actually played back-to-back London games, and of course they stayed over, so they do not have to make the trip like Buffalo does. Will it be an edge? It's hard to say. There's not really much data on that because it just hasn't happened before. I do believe it is a little bit of an edge, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think that Buffalo, they got there. They're hungry. They're a professional team, and they're going to make it. No excuses. They're going to get it done, and they're gonna show up that game and put their best foot forward. Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley, Travis Etienne, those guys are all. They looked a lot better last week. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to kind of turn the corner a little bit, but they're running up against it this week. Buffalo is on fire. I mean, they are putting up massive points ever since that unfortunate loss to the Jets in week 1. They have stepped it up on offense and defense, and I think that the Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen connection is real, and it's going to be huge this game. I think James Cook is going to step it up in the running game, and that Bills defense, that's the key right now. That Bills defense is shutting teams down. I'm going to be going 2 units on the Buffalo Bills. You take that to the bank, Buffalo Bills, minus 5.5. I'm going to lay the points, and I'm going to go with the Bills minus 5.5 for 2 units.
All right, next we're looking at a 1 p.m. Eastern time game. This is the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens on the road are a 4-point favorite. A lot of players in this game have been having up and down seasons so far, not performing up to what expectation was, dealing with minor injuries. So I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Kenny Pickett sustained a bone bruise in the last game, but he's on track to play. If not, Mr. One Mitchell Trubisky of the former Chicago Bears is the backup. And to be honest, the way Kenny Pickett's looked, Mitchell Trubisky, I kind of have him as a slight upgrade. I think that T.J. Watt and this defense, they're gonna make up for last week's woes. They're at home. This matchup, they battle each other hard. Most of the time, these guys play, and the game is under a touchdown almost every time. And a lot of times, it comes down to the last anywhere from 2 to 4 points, win or lose for either team. So Lamar Jackson, he's running for his life. His passing game has not been great still. Their defense, they have a lot of injuries. So all in all, I'm taking Mike Tomlin in this one. This guy is a beast of a coach. Not taking anything away from John Harbaugh, but they're in Pittsburgh. Defense is going to be there to show up, and I have no doubt in my mind that Pittsburgh is going to get it done. So take Pittsburgh. I believe they're going to win outright, but take Pittsburgh +4. I got them for 4 units in this one. Yep, it's a 4-unit play. We're going to take Pittsburgh +4, and it's going to be a nice turnaround from last week. And I think that T.J. Watt's going to put a lot of hurt on Jackson, and they're going to get it done.
I feel like the Steelers need to get this done, or else there might be like a Canadian export going overseas, if you know what I'm saying soon.
Yeah, Matt Canada, I tell you, that guy, I mean, if they shit the bed again this week, Matt Canada needs to be fired. Just flat out fired. I mean, send him packing. But as of right now, we'll see what happens.
All right, another 1 p.m. Eastern Time game. The Houston Texans at the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are presently only a 1.5-point favorite at home. Let's hear the Feathers pick on this one.
Yeah, the Texans are C.J. Stroud. He is having a hell of a rookie campaign. He's arguably probably for sure the best quarterback right now of all the rookies. And this team is surprising everybody. No one expected the Houston Texans to be at 2-2 right now. They're getting it done with their young wide receiving core. But when it comes down to it, they have a weak run game. They got a mediocre to poor defense, and their offensive line is not particularly good as well. So going up against a Falcons team that anchored by one Desmond Ridder, he's catching a lot of fire these last couple weeks and all season pretty much. He can't seem to pass very well, but one Bijan Robinson, running back rookie sensation, he's going to be the difference maker. I think they're going to play some old school smash mouth football in this game, and they're going to do what they got to do to get the win. I think they're in Atlanta. They're going to come, extra hungry to improve after last week's beating that they took in across the pond. And I'm liking Atlanta a lot in this one. I think that a lot of people are on the Texans. It seems like a no-brainer to take the Texans, and I adamantly am against that. I think that Atlanta, a team that is trying to find an identity in offense, I think they're going to make it happen this week. I think that Kyle Pitts and this offense is going to get going a little bit, and the defense is going to put enough pressure on C.J. Stroud that they're going to wreak a little havoc. And I'm going to go with Atlanta -1.5 for 4 units. Another 4-unit play. I like Atlanta a lot. Let's get it done. Atlanta for 4 units.
All right, sticking with the morning games, we have the Nolan Saints at the New England Patriots. Patriots are currently a 1-point favorite at home. This is a rematch, in a way, of a game I got to go see in person last year of one Mr. Derek Carr versus Mac Jones when it was the Raiders versus the Patriots. And did we ever give a clever name to that horrendous pitchback that resulted in the fumble and the recovery? Because watching that in person, man, that made the game. That game was a stinkeroo otherwise, right. But I'm just reliving the good times. You'll be actually at Allegiant Stadium this Monday night for one Green Bay Packers team. We'll address that shortly.
Yep.
And I might be catching the Giants there later this season too. So
yeah, I'm excited. First time I'm going to go to Allegiant Stadium. It's not Lambeau Field, but you know what? I think it's going to be a great time, and looking forward to it.
Okay, so the Derek Carr versus Mac Jones matchup, this is going to be a close one. Two teams that are obviously struggling to find any kind of identity or get an offense go. So what do we have here?
We have the battle of two very poor quarterbacks at the moment, Derek Carr versus Mac Jones. Both of them are struggling greatly. Derek Carr can't throw more than he threw the ball 13 times to Alvin Kamara for like 15 yards. So he's dinking and donking. He can't seem to throw the ball downfield. He's not accurate, and there's problems there in Saints land. But the Patriots and Bill Belichick are facing similar problems. They got some injuries on defense. They're trying to address those by picking up a free agent in the last 2 days over from the Chargers to help their defensive backfield. But yeah, I mean, Chris Olave has had he's been the one bright spot on the Saints this year, but they can't seem to give him the ball. And Alvin Kamara just got back from suspension, so we'll see how he can do this week. But my feeling is Bill Belichick, Gillette Stadium, I just don't see a path that the Saints team, which plays considerably poor away from their home field, they're not going to get it done. The Patriots are going to win this one. I have this one also, Patriots -1 for 4 units. They're going to win this one outright, no problem. And most likely I'm going to say it's going to be between 7 to 10 point victory for the Patriots, 4 units. I love it. Bill Belichick, Mr. Hoodie, he's going to make it happen. Take it to the bank.
All right, next morning game, we have the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. The Titans on the road are a 1.5 point favorite. Feather, with Derrick Henry running all around and the Colts' somewhat mediocre defense right now, do you think they stand a chance? We also know your standing statement that no longer should we let you bet on the Colts ever. But you've been known to deviate from your own requirements. So where are you looking at here?
All right, so Titans at Colts. In this case, you got Jonathan Taylor that might be back. It's going to be they have 21 days to take him off the able to play list. He practiced in full yesterday, so that's going to be interesting, something to watch. But yeah, Anthony Richardson's he's doing well. He's a rookie. He's dynamic. He's running around. Passing game is getting a little bit better. But I just don't think that the inexperienced coaching is going to be the difference here. I'll take Mike Vrabel all day long against this inexperienced coaching staff of the Colts. And, bottom line, I think Ryan Tannehill is going to do enough, and I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to eat this. I think he's going to finally make a big mark on the team, and they're inside of a dome, and I think that Tannehill is going to get it done, and Derrick Henry is going to rush for about $150. 2 touchdowns. Yeah, so Titans are 1.5 point favorites, 2 units. Take the Titans to the bank. Boom.
Hey, guess what? We're still in the morning games, and next up we're looking at the Carolina Panthers at your favorite Detroit Lions. The Lions are a 9.5 point favorite at home, but this game is going to feature one David Montgomery, currently on the Fader Fly Fantasy Football Team first place roster. I'd like to add that out. Shout out to the best in the West Football League. Is he a fluke? Is he for real? Is this going to be a game where he's going to run lights out again? 9.5 point spread. It's the Lions, your mortal enemies.
Yeah, I mean, did we ever think the Lions would become 9.5 point favorites against any team on planet Earth? I mean, this is like breaking news. I mean, you're talking 30 years of long time coming, but they're there. They've showed up. They're the big kids on the block, and I think, like I said, Bryce Young is not good. He's a rookie quarterback. He's having the exact opposite year of one C.J. Stroud. And Jared Goff, he tends to play super good at home. So bottom line, he's not as good on the road, but at home, he's a whole different quarterback. David Montgomery is in absolute beast mode. He's finding his footing in a new home in Detroit, leaving Chicago, which tends to happen with most players when they leave Chicago. They actually become, better. But, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's got an ab injury, so he's been sitting out the last 2 days of practice. I think he'll be good to go. And new addition coming fresh off suspension for illegal gambling, one Jamison Williams. And he is a talented receiver that's going to stretch the field and take away some of that pressure off of Amon-Ra St. Brown, excuse me. And, Dan Campbell has these guys like just full of piss and vinegar and just lighten it up. So, I mean, I definitely think the Lions are going to cover this spread. We're going to go 2 units, -9.5. The Lions are going to get it done. And I see them winning this game by 14 to 21 points. And, that's what's going to happen.
Okay, we have another morning game, and there might be some morning going on after this game happens. It is the New York Football Giants at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are an 11.5-point favorite right now, but I'd like to divert for a moment, and I want to say, Dolphins fans, you're welcome. You're welcome for a New York Giants team in 2007 that took down one undefeated Mr. Tom Brady in the Super Bowl that has allowed you to continue popping bottles of champagne for at least another 16 years. And for that, again, I just want to say, you're welcome. But now, Farrah, don't break my heart too much. What's really going to happen in this game? I mean, the Giants are averaging like a solid 3 to 6 points a game. I mean, Miami looked a little bit stumbly last week. Is this the time the Dolphins are about to sink and it's the rise of the Giants? That's what you're going to tell me, right?
The Giants are going to win this one outright. Not. Anyway, New York Giants, Dolphins, 11.5-point spread. We are going to roll with the Dolphins. There's just no path that I was trying to think about it. Saquon Barkley comes back. Daniel Jones actually plays better. And a whole bunch of stuff has to happen to mess this up. But I think Vegas got this one wrong. The line should be more like 14.5. But we'll see. I mean, last time I said Vegas got it wrong was the Packers-Lions, and that didn't work out so good. But Dolphins minus 11.5 is going to be the play. We're going to go 2 units on the Dolphins. Tua, Hill, and Waddle are just too dynamic, and the corners in the backfield for the Giants are just not good. They're inexperienced, and they're not good. And all around, Giants receivers themselves, no one stepped up. And Daniel Jones can't seem to get off of his back. So all that adds up to Dolphins 11.5-point cover. And for 2 units, take it to the bank.
I guess you could also say that the Dolphins are going to win by Tua.
When are the Giants going to actually use Darren Waller? I mean, the man, here the team traded for him. When are they going to use him?
Or Darius Slayton, but I digress. So going from one extreme to the other in the NFC East, we have our first afternoon game, the 4:05, like the freeway in LA, 4:05 p.m. start time of the Philadelphia Eagles at the Los Angeles Rams. The Eagles on the road are only a 4.5-point favorite.
Yeah, so Cooper Kupp might be coming back for the Rams. Still questionable, but he could be coming back. But even if he doesn't, Puka Nacua seems to be filling in just fine. And this Rams offense seems to be legit. Their running game's pretty decent. Matt Stafford is definitely playing better than he did last year, and he's healthier finally. The Eagles' defense, there's something off about their defense. Their offense looks pretty good, but their defense is not the defense of last year. They've lost a few players to free agency, and something looks a little bit off. This game, I believe that Aaron Donald's going to get after it, and it feels trappy, right? It feels trappy, and my opinion, it is trappy because I have the Rams. The Rams plus 4.5. We're going to go with the Rams plus 4.5, 2 units. I think the Rams could win this outright if Cooper Kupp plays and this, the things break right. But I think definitely they can stay within that 4.5-point threshold. So Rams plus 4.5. I think that they're going to get it done. They're going to stay within the 4.5 and 2 units. Rams, boom.
All right, we have our second of the afternoon games, 4:05 Eastern time, of course. This is the Cincinnati Bengals at the Arizona Cardinals. The Bengals on the road are a 3-point favorite, and this features one Mr. Almost Dead to You, Joe Burrow. You sure on this one here?
Bengals at Cardinals. Did we ever think that we would be here right now with the Bengals being only a 3-point favorite? Arizona Cardinals. I did not myself, but here we go. I mean, Joe Burrow, according to him, he says he felt better than he has after a Sunday football game for the first time this week. He feels good. He made it sound like he feels great. And Jamar Chase, he's a generational talent. T. Higgins is questionable, so I'm not sure if he's questionable, so that's something to watch. But I think Tyler Boyd will fit in nicely, and he'll fill in just fine in the number 2 spot. Yeah, I mean, Josh Dobbs is doing something with this Arizona Cardinal team. I mean, Josh Dobbs, he's fit in nicely, and frankly, I think he might be a better option than Kyler Murray, Mr. Minnie Mouse. But yeah, I mean, this is a tough scenario. I mean, we've talked about it over and over. Joe Burrow going to be dead to me soon, but you know what? Not today. Joe Burrow is not dead to me today. I'm giving them another shot. There's just no way I'm taking Arizona to win this game. If Joe Burrow can actually move a little bit, this team should air assault, rush, and beat the brakes off of the Arizona Cardinals. That's the bottom line. It should happen. We'll see what happens. I'll maybe be eating my words come Tuesday, but no way on planet Earth I am going to take the Arizona Cardinals against the Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be a bounce-back game for them. You're going to take Cincinnati Bengals -3, 2 units, and thank me on Monday morning.
All right, of our last 3 games, this is our later afternoon, 4:25 p.m. Eastern time start. This is the Aaron Rodgers. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This is the Zach Wilson-led New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. And I was talking to you before the start of the show that I think in a different universe, if it wasn't these 2 specific coaches and these 2 situations, this might be the playing for your job bowl as a coach. I mean, in no universe does Sean Payton get fired. And I don't think you can put all of the fault on Robert Saleh for what's happened 3 plays into the season.
No.
But this is going to be almost like the Dignity Bowl, let's say, I think, too. Maybe they're fighting for some kind of dignity here.
Yeah, I think the Jets are still live. I mean, I think the Jets have can do something unlike the Broncos, which they're pretty much done. Stick a fork in them. But the Jets have hope. Zach Wilson played really good. He played better than Patrick Mahomes did last week, that's for sure. Will it continue? I mean, this is the Wilson versus Wilson Bowl. And Russell Wilson has played better than he did last year. I'll say that. The defense for the Broncos is so bad that Zach Wilson is going to look like Joe Montana this weekend. You heard it here. So, rest assured, Zach Wilson will get it done. Garrett Wilson's going to be happy because his stats are going to be good. And one Breece Hall, who's now no longer on a pitch count and he's not limited, he's going to come up big. He's going to run all over this Broncos defense. And, hey, Jets are going to get it done. Jets, 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 Jets.
All right, the last evening game, 4:25 start time. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins, losing games he should win, winning games he should lose. Kind of a typical Vikings attitude to take. Chiefs are only a 4.5-point favorite on the road in Minnesota. Is this going to be a lot of people telling the Chiefs to shake it off at the end, or will the Vikings just be doing the Skol chant? And I wish Britney Spears. Or will the Vikings just be doing their Skol chant to now we've got bad blood or something?
It's going to be an interesting game. Minnesota's a different team at home. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, these guys are all beastie. They can put up some points. Minnesota's proven that time and time again. Whereas on the other side of the ball, the Chiefs' defense is looking really good this year. I feel like there's some bad calls by the refs last week that benefited the Chiefs. Otherwise, I think ultimately the Chiefs might have lost to the Jets. That's my feeling. I know that I have a few friends that are going to think otherwise on that topic. But Travis Kelce, the reality is the Chiefs might win this one, but they're not covering. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings, 2 units, plus the 4.5. That's right. Skol, baby. Skol. And as a Packer fan, I'm dying inside a little bit just saying that. But plus 4.5, they're going to keep it close. I would not be surprised if a Viking upset occurs, and there's a lot of sadness and a lot of stuff needing to be shook off. That's what she said.
Let me ask you just a random question, because in the dynamic here, you're the one who analyzes stuff, and I kind of follow along and do my normal reading of NFL.com and fantasy football. If the Chiefs had blown out the Jets last week, is this line this low for the Chiefs?
No. I think it would have been higher. I think it would have been maybe sitting around 6. It's trending downward right now. I think it was 5.5 at one point. This something's off about this Chiefs team. I mean, maybe too many TV commercials, eating nuggies, and too much.
I love the nuggies commercial.
Too much Swifty mania and Jake from State Farm. Maybe it's like the Ronda Rousey effect. She did so many commercials and she lost her focus and her hunger, and now she's out of the UFC. So I mean, I don't know.
But she did move into WWE, and as we all know, that's where the real fighting takes place.
Absolutely. She's a battler.
All right, let's get to our last game, the evening time game for Sunday. Sunday Night Football starts after that song they've been playing for the last 10 years or more. 8:20 p.m. Eastern start time. 1 Dallas Cowboys at 1 San Francisco 49ers. 49ers, 4-point favorite at home. Can anybody stop the 49ers? Because they look like they're Super Bowl bound to me.
Christian McCaffrey, he's quietly having a MVP type season right now. I mean, he was unstoppable, but let's just be clear. He was unstoppable against Arizona last week. But in general, he looks great, okay? Brock Purdy is excelling, coming off of a really rough injury last year. People were wondering, okay, is this guy who was, one of the last picks of the entire draft when he got drafted, is he going to actually react well coming off an injury? What's the deal on him? And he is proven that he knows what he's doing, and he's doing a heck of a job. Other side of the ball, you got Micah Parsons in this Dallas defense, which is unbelievable. Lights out. The defense is just kicking teams down, and Dallas is having an easy goal playing, from ahead most of the time. The only game they were playing from behind was against Arizona, and they lost that one. Dak Prescott's not throwing interceptions, but he's also not maybe making the big plays either. So his conservative play, it's like kind of like, is it good? Is it bad? I mean, he's not doing as much, but he's not making the mistakes he was in the past. Mike McCarthy's the play caller. Being a Mike McCarthy guy back in Green Bay, I liked the guy in the beginning, but at the tail end, he was too vanilla and too conservative, and he just he wasn't the best fit for Green Bay anymore. I'm not sure him calling the play calls in Dallas is the best thing, but hey, it's his team and it's his butt on the line, so he's going to be doing it. And Jerry Jones is, that he wants him to produce results, and Mike McCarthy so far, they're looking good. And against the 49ers, guess what? Taking the Dallas Cowboys +4. The Dallas Cowboys, how about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? They're going to come in. They're going to cover the spread. I believe they can win outright. The 49ers have beat the Dallas Cowboys the last 2 years. And there's some revenge factor coming into play. But worst case scenario, the +4 Dallas, they're going to stay within the spread. I do believe that they can win outright as well. So we're going to be going 2 units, Dallas Cowboys +4. Take it to the bank. That's my last pick of the 12. And it's a shocker. 75% of the people are on the San Francisco 49ers, and that's a big mistake this week. And I am not a Dallas Cowboy fan at all. So for me to make this pick, it must be true. That's for sure. So.
All right, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I would like the 49ers to win, so my wife will be happy. And I hate to see the Cowboys win because I hate the Cowboys. But I definitely see this could be a game. It almost feels like it should be. Like you said, it should be all the money is going in on the 49ers, and that feels like this is like one of those Vegas trap games. Not on the same level as the Patrick Mahomes slide that cost $80 to $90 million, which if you didn't see our last video, check it out for our bad beat of the week. Vegas taking in almost a free $90 million thanks to one Mr. Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed us taking a look at all the games from this Sunday. People were saying, hey, when are you going to pick some underdogs? You did this week for sure. Definitely kind of fun seeing all of them. These are all official picks as far as the Feather is concerned. And this might be the way we go on in the future, giving you all the games so you're not limited to just a few. You kind of made your mark on giving very select picks. But now that we have a long form way to do this, I feel like we can expand on that and use our 30 minutes of time to give a lot more information. So hopefully you find it useful. And if you don't, then bet the opposite and make some money. So let us know what you're going to take, what you think this week. And stay tuned because we are also going to be putting out in just a little while, another day or so, feathers, teasers, and parlays for this Sunday. Another segment we're doing each week.
Oh, yeah. Got some great teasers and parlays for you guys. You're going to want it. You're not going to want to miss it.
With the exception of one last-minute Packers decision last week, you would have gone 4-0 on the parlays, and I will say that definitely was a nice little profit for me last weekend too. So hopefully we'll continue that, guys. Thank you for continuing to watch Fade or Fly. Tell your friends. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. If you haven't subscribed, do so as well, because also last Sunday when one of those lines went crazy, when one Mr. Deshaun Watson was ruled out about 30 minutes till game time, We try to notify everybody when a pick changes that drastically, when a line moves that much that we endorsed, and now it looks like you may either have to insure your bet or just back off it completely if you haven't betted yet. We're there for you. So, yeah, that's about it for me. Anything else, Feather?
Nope, that'll do it. All right, guys. This weekend, take it to the bank. Boom.